Welcome to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, a podcast for Danville, Kentucky and beyond. Conversations with friends, and you get to listen. Brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. 80% Danville-centric, 20% eccentric.
Good morning, Danville, Kentucky. Welcome to Man About Danville. I am the man about Danville himself, Logan H. Gurman. You are listening to the leading podcast, the most influential podcast for Danville, Boyle County, the Bluegrass region, and the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you so very much for joining me, whether you are in your car, on a commute, on a road trip, on vacation, by the pool, working late at the office, at the gym, on a run, mowing your yard, cutting hay, milking the cows, or hanging out at the fire station. Thank you for joining me. Wherever you listen, I consider it a real honor and privilege that you choose to spend part of your day with me, and I sincerely appreciate it. I've got a very special shout out to the Man About Danville Listener of the Week. The Listener of the Week is Josephine R. in Florence, Alabama. She is one of my many listeners from across the country. Of course, there's no actual prize. She just gets to bask in the glory of being the Man About Danville Listener of the Week. So, Josephine R., Florence, Alabama, thank you for listening. Also, special birthday shout out, a very happy birthday to my all-time favorite brother. Happy birthday, Chris Gurman. If you see him rolling around the ATL on his 22s, give him a honk or a wave and wish him a happy birthday. If you enjoy this podcast, I wish you'd consider giving it a like or a review or a rating or whatever, wherever you listen to it. There should be a little place in your app where you can do that. Hit the share button if you would. And if you do share it to social media, tag me so I can see it, and thank you for it in person. I appreciate all the shares. It helps me grow the show. This show started out with the concept that I would have conversations with my friends. But on occasion, it has become a vehicle for me where I get to meet new people and make new friends, and that's the case this week. I continue to be amazed by the quality of guests that my staff are able to book for this show. As the reputation grows, I guess their job gets easier getting high-quality, talented people to come on the show and talk with me. But this is one of my biggest gets so far. This young lady has been called the Pride of Perryville, the Perryville Princess. You know her from lighting it up on the ABC network show American Idol. She has been absolutely stealing the show. Her voice blew the judges and everyone else away. But this was no surprise at all to the people who knew her growing up. She has a packed schedule, and she and her mom, Tabitha Blackwell, were gracious enough to find some time to sit down with me and chat. I'm so thankful that they were able to find some time to share with me. She's an incredible talent and a lovely, lovely young lady in every possible way. And by the way, there's going to be a chance to see her perform live here in Danville tonight on May 14th. I got more details about that coming up, but let's get to it with American Idol contestant Alyssa Wray. I am really excited to be joined today by Alyssa Wray and her mom, Tabitha Blackwell. Thank you guys for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
This is probably the biggest collision of Danville celebrities in the history of Danville. Never before have there been two social media darlings like us, two new media superstars like we are. We're probably among the most famous people in town. So thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, Alyssa, for being with me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
This is really awesome. So from what I can tell, everybody in this town claims they went to church with you as a kid. Is that pretty true?
I mean, possibly. I grew up at a church, Danville Church of God, downtown. A ton of people go there. And then in Perryville, at Perryville Baptist, I went there for a long time. Well, my stepdad was the music minister, so we went to church with a ton of people there. And then now I go to Centerpoint. I've done worship there for the past probably like 3-ish years, maybe a little longer. So I guess a lot of people have. And I used to go to Awana's at First Baptist Church when I was little. Okay. So, yeah.
So, that's a pretty fair statement that a lot of these people went to school, went to church with you. You are a recent graduate of Boyle County High School. You graduated in 2020 last spring.
I did, May 2020.
What a mess that was.
I know. It was a lot, but I got here somehow, so it's been a journey since then.
During the COVID pandemic shutdown, I started a podcast. You got on national TV and became an international sensation. So good for both of us. You played basketball at Boyle County. You were the center. Mm-hmm. And I've also heard that you weren't afraid to sing the national anthem. Did you sing before your own games?
I did sing before my own game one time. I remember my senior year, I asked my coach to sing like a couple of times, and he was like, "No, I don't want you to be not focused." He said, "You can sing before senior night." So I sang at my senior night last year.
Did you sing the national anthem before football games or boys games or anything?
I did. Since probably my freshman year, I sang it all over town. I sang it once at, I think it was Old Bridge, like a golf tournament, but I forgot the words. I was a sophomore.
Singing in front of people is a reoccurring nightmare for me. So you and I are cut from different cloth, but I can understand the fear and the nerves. When did you discover that you had a talent for singing, or when did you first develop a passion for it?
Honestly, I've kind of just sang my whole life. And then, when I started singing at church and in choirs and doing talent shows and stuff, I was like, oh, I like doing this. So then I started doing musicals, and I just kind of never stopped. It was just like a domino effect, kind of.
Did you do the talent show at Bull County High?
I did. Probably, I guess it was my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I don't think we had one senior year.
This is from Dr. Frida Gebert.
Gebert.
Mm-hmm. It was as if she was created to do this and glories in the gift. In all my years of teaching, I have never known a student with more talent, more determination, and more heart than Alyssa.
Oh, yeah. I've had Miss Gebert since 7th grade. She's been one of the people that have helped me kind of hone like my singing and acting talent and just overall performing skills.
So last spring, when I don't even want to say you graduated, it was more your college career, your high school career came to an end. You are a student at Northern Kentucky, is that right? I
was. This semester just finished, and I deferred from the rest of the semester because of the show. But yeah, this semester just ended.
Did you even get a start? Did you go for the fall semester at all?
I did. I went through the fall, and I lived on campus, and then I went until the beginning of March before I flew out to California.
All right, so when did your journey to American Idol start?
To be honest, technically it started back in August, but my first audition in front of the judges was November, so it was a long journey up until that point even.
Did you have to keep a lot of it secret?
Oh, yeah. It was so hard. Like, the minute they told us we could post that I even auditioned, I was, like, posting it on Instagram, and my mom was telling me, no, just, like, wait a little bit, like, make people wait, and I just couldn't. I had to post it.
It would be hard to keep under your hat that you were. And, of course, right there at the audition, you knew you were going on to L.A.
Well, technically, I was the last audition on the last day, so we were there for probably, like, 5-ish days before I even knew I was going to LA. And honestly, I didn't know I was going to get a golden ticket. Like, that's hard for people to realize, but I didn't think I was going to. So
where were the auditions?
They had some in San Diego, Los Angeles, and Ojai, California. And I was in Ojai.
And you were there for 5 days, camped out.
Mm-hmm. It was gorgeous, though. It was like this huge resort, like a little village. It was so cute.
Any idea how many people auditioned in those 5 days?
I don't really know as far as the 5 days goes, but I know that like over like 100,000 people audition, like, period. And then like the people they choose to audition in front of the judges, it gets split down. So probably like 600, I would say.
So did you submit a video first?
No, I had a casting director reached out to me back in August, and then she wanted me to audition. She thought I would be perfect for it. And I was like, okay, and I chose some songs, and then I just forgot about it. And then she called me back in September and was like, hey, are you going to do it? I was like, yeah, I guess so. So I did like 2 Zoom auditions, technically 3 because I had to reschedule one. And then at my second one, they told me I was going to get to do the judges. So there was a lot of rounds before I even got to go on TV, really.
So it was a big deal just to be present in front of the judges live and be on the show to start with.
Yeah, and the fact that like I even got aired to start with is also huge, because there are so many people that we see that don't get aired on TV that are there with me, like making it just as far. Like, people made it to the 3rd round of Hollywood Week and didn't get shown at all. So just the fact that I was even showed is just huge, and I was just excited about that.
So you were the last audition on the last day of auditions.
Yes, period. Like, out of the whole journey before they went to Hollywood.
And I know that night you were the last person on the show, because my 10-year-old made me let her stay up to watch the whole thing. So this is from my daughter, Adeline. She asks, were you nervous about doing live TV, and how did you overcome it?
Well, live TV, it started, I guess it was about a month and a half ago now, when I was in LA for the live rounds. And honestly, I was a little nervous as far as messing up goes. But we have dress rehearsals and stuff before that we run the show exactly how it goes. Even Ryan Seacrest is in the dress rehearsal. So after getting to do that, I wasn't too scared about going on live TV because it just felt like second nature to us. It just felt like another dress rehearsal. Because luckily we don't get to see the millions of people watching us from home. We're just kind of doing it, and it seems like it's super easy. So it's also more scary after I watch it when I get done.
That's a blessing that you don't get worried until after it's aired.
Yeah, but then after I'm overthinking everything. So
obviously you're there, the contestants are there, musicians are there, judges, camera crew. Were there any? Your mom was there. Were your mom?
I was in LA, but I was not.
Or she was in Ojai, California.
But you weren't present in the building. Was there any kind of live audience?
For my audition?
Or for the live TV show?
Oh, yeah, there was. They kind of have to cast an audience now from COVID. But yeah, every live show we've had, even actually every show we've had in the studio, because we had one show that we filmed that wasn't live. It was the Top 24 show. Even then, we had a live audience. So it's always been high energy since I got to CBS Studios in California.
I can imagine for a performer, you really need that kind of feedback.
Yeah, and they know that, I think, too. So they were like gracious enough to get little pods and have like the audience members test every couple of days before they came, and they sat with their family members in their pods and got to watch the show and cheer on with their masks.
I started watching American Idol back when it was on a different network, and they had a different set of judges, and it's evolved some over. Any idea how long it's been on TV?
Oh, yeah, 19 years since. Well, there was one that off.
2002, when I remember watching Alyssa when I had her as a newborn, watching the first season. 18 and a half, 19 years.
So, Alyssa, it's basically existed all your life.
I feel like it was meant for me. That's what I'm telling people. Like, I used to watch it growing up, too. Like, I remember when it went off of the other network and they took 1 year off and it was canceled, basically. And I was really sad because I was just almost old enough to audition. And then the next year they announced it was coming back and I auditioned and I didn't make it. So, yeah, my whole life it's been basically on.
For me, it feels like it's been on like 5 or 6 years. But that's just when you get to be my age, time does weird things. All right, so they've got different judges. They don't have a mean judge anymore.
Well, honestly, and this might be, I'm not giving what people want to hear, but I'm kind of glad for that because I don't think people understand, like, even being on the show, you already get so much hate through social media. People think it's their job to judge you. So I think that the contestants that had to be on the show when there was a mean judge probably went through some crazy mental health issues because I know it's funny, but, like, I get hurt by someone commenting on my Instagram telling me to wear a different dress. So I can imagine what they went through.
That's so obnoxious that somebody would decide they need to tell you what they think. Anyway, well, all right. Did you have a favorite judge? And did Katy Perry ask about me?
Oh, well, she did ask. No, I'm playing. But my favorite judge, I don't know. I really love them all. Like, I know everyone sees like their TV persona, and it's pretty much the same as who they really are. But we get to see like just them being like very like genuine and like soft after they talk to us when the show's over. So I really love them all. I think if I had a favorite that I connected with the most, it would probably be Lionel Richie. But other than that, they're just all great and they're goofballs. Lionel
Richie has that your favorite uncle kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Or, I don't want to say granddad. He's not that old. But
well, he is pretty. He's up there. Sorry, Lionel.
He's older than I am, but neither one of us are that old. Do you remember back when Lionel was with the Commodores?
I don't remember personally, but I know.
All right. I'm a big fan of the Commodores, probably more so than the Lionel Richie solo stuff. I'll take that up with Lionel next time I see him. What did you think of Los Angeles or California?
Oh, I just loved it. My friend actually, he has a brother who lives up there, and he told me before I went, he was like, Alyssa, I think you're going to be like a Los Angeles girl, like you're going to love it. I'm like, no, I love New York. Like that's where I've always wanted to live. And then I get out to California, and I just love it so much. Like I'm already making them try to like get me back there. Like I'm moving there this year. Like I love it. It's my favorite.
We're having an ice storm, and it's 78 there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it rained once while I was there for 2 months, and then I got back here, and it was raining for days.
Now, you didn't live with the other contestants, or were you all like in the same apartment complex? Or
it was a hotel, and we just kind of all sat on different floors. But luckily, like my best friend Grace was like 3 doors down from me. My friend Willie was down the hall, so we basically lived together. There's a pool deck. We walk down there to the pool, and we just chill at nighttime. We basically lived together.
Tabitha, were you out there for the whole time or most of it, or?
We were out there for 2 weeks during the top 16 eliminations and the top 12 eliminations.
But no, they got to come and just experience California. So after my shows would be over, they would come and see me and stuff. Or we went to Palm Springs one day when I was off. So
did you make any friends with any of the other contestants?
oh yeah, 100%. I have so many friends, even from like just the auditions. But throughout the whole journey, I got closer with a lot of people, like Hannah Everhart, Really Country Girl. If you watch the show, she was one of my first close friends since Hollywood. Stuck with her for a long time. My duet partner from Hollywood, Grace, she's still in it, top 5. Best friend, like literally could not live without her. Love her so much. Willie, he's still in it, another best friend. I just made a lot of friends that I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. So that's really awesome to me to have that connection.
Do you have a favorite moment or a moment that sticks out from your time on the show, or did you have a favorite song?
That's hard. I feel like I have a couple favorite moments. My favorite performances were just the ones that felt consistent to me because I was picking out my performances a lot. But I loved my duet with Grace. That was one of my favorites. I loved my Oscars night song. I sang This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. That was one of my favorites. And then I love Disney night, of course, because I got to have a sparkly dress that glowed. But yeah, there were a lot of moments that I could tell you about that just kind of like were really special to me.
They sent you to Disney World to meet with John Stamos.
Yes.
Did you all do that show in Florida, or did you go back to California for it?
We went back to California for it. We did the show live technically, but we went to Disney World to film all the like BTS of us like riding rides and stuff and talking with John Stamos.
That's a nice little perk.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. The resort was so pretty. At night when we were like wrapped from filming, we'd go to the hot tub and people would recognize us. And then the next morning we'd get up and talk to John Stamos. So I mean, it was okay, you know.
Who were some of the performers that you looked up to as a kid?
That's kind of a hard question because I feel like the only person who was like my biggest inspiration was Carrie Underwood. Like as I've gotten older, I've grown like accustomed to a lot of other singers that are more my style that I love now so much, just as much as Carrie. But Carrie Underwood was like my favorite singer growing up. I would sing her songs and like make dances to them, and I loved her.
How would you describe your style? Or it's probably going to evolve over time, but.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is that my style is going to evolve because I've always been very versatile. Like I'm a musical theater major, so I, like to sing a lot of different types of music. I'm from Kentucky, so, I like country music. But then I also love soul and R&B. So I would say that I'm more soul pop or soul R&B a little bit, but I can't wait to see how my style evolves as I get more into the music industry and get to work with other people and collaborate.
Your major's musical theater. Did you think at one point you were going to be on Broadway?
Well, I didn't think. I'm still going to Broadway.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm kidding.
No. Do you see your career going more toward Broadway or more toward a recording artist?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, especially recently, but I say both. Like, right now while the doors are open, I'm going to be hopefully a recording artist and get to work with a label, hopefully, and some songwriters and get some music out there for people. But that's what is available to me right now, and I need to take those opportunities because I also have always wanted to do that. But, when I get, more comfortable and being able to provide for myself and my family and everything, like I want to go still do Broadway and I want to be a leading lady and live in New York. And, I tell people hopefully one day I can be bi-coastal and go back from California to New York. But that's the dream. So we're working towards it.
Who sang the Frozen? Was that Idina Menzel?
Idina Menzel.
Idina Menzel. Like John Travolta screwing the name up.
Adim Dizelle or something. He said. I remember.
Maybe I did a little better than he did. But anyway, she kind of did both. She was on Broadway and then.
Yeah, I would really say that's kind of what I want to do. Like.
No,
But yeah, I would say Idina Menzel and Jennifer Hudson are two careers that I would love to have. I think I would like to have a little more of the recording artist journey. Like I want to make more music than they did, but I would love to be in like movie musicals and in movies and on Broadway and make music. So I want to do it all, and those are the two careers that I would probably like imitate if I could.
Have you ever thought about Nashville as a place to make music? Or
I don't think I would live in Nashville, but we're actually going to take a trip to Nashville pretty soon just to visit my friend Hannah from the show. She's going down there, and I'm hoping I get to meet with people too. So Nashville, I think, is a good place for me to collaborate with artists because it's such a hub for artists. But as far as living there, I don't know if that would be where I would live.
All right. So what's What's next for Alyssa? What are your short-term plans? We kind of talked about your long-term goal there. You're going back to California shortly.
I am. I fly out on Monday to rehearsal week and then be in the finale, God willing. I have to COVID test today, so let's hope that's all good. But after that, I'm going to start doing a lot of shows this summer, and I just want to save up some money so I can move to California. That's where I want to get, because that's where all the opportunities and auditions and people are, so I want to get there and be able to start working.
All right, we're going to talk. You're doing a show. You're doing a show tonight at the showroom. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But do you have like summer tour plans or anything?
I am going to be singing at Laurel Mountain Festival in Eastern Kentucky in a couple weeks. And then I've had people reach out to me about, having me sing at these occasions this summer. So I'm hoping to, do some shows around Kentucky. I know after the show officially ends, I've talked to some friends about hopefully doing some shows other places together as like a little contestant reunion. So I guess if we take that as touring, I'll kind of be doing that this summer. And then after that, like I said, I'm ready to get to California and start working.
That's awesome. Did they have some professional vocal coaches and things like that for you in California?
Yeah, of course. We actually met with a vocal coach basically every day. We had a vocal coach and a pianist in the room, and we'd work together and collaborate. They'd help us hone in on the stuff that we already kind of knew but needed some extra polishing, give us some tips. I told my voice coach and pianist that they were like my therapists, because I would go in and we'd spend half the time just talking about everything. But yeah, they're great people, and one of the best parts about the show, I think.
Just a different level of coaching and training than you can get here, and not to say that we don't have wonderful vocal coaches and performance instructors here, but I'm guessing in California it's just a next level kind of operation.
Yeah, and they're just people who know about the business, so like they can offer you advice that not anyone can give,
Like what?
To basically like watch your back. There's a lot of stuff, but they just make sure that that this is still a competition, and that like the business it can get kind of crazy sometimes, and that it's not going to be like, I think one time we were talking about how like this American Idol or the business is not like summer camp. So like, I don't know, they prepare you for things that you're going to deal with eventually, but
That's so out of my realm of expertise and what goes on in this small town. They really played up that small town Perryville angle on the show.
Yeah. Everyone has their trope is what I tell everyone on the show. So I guess that was my trope.
That was kind of your niche. You were the small and you were a hero to everybody in Perryville and everybody in Bull County. You were probably a hero to 100,000 little girls like my daughter in 100,000 small towns. And really, you are, just like Carrie Underwood was for you, I'm sure you are now a role model for some of these girls that think, hey, if she did it, I can do it too.
Yeah, I sure hope so. That's really always been my goal. I used to tell people that like there were people like Carrie Underwood that I looked up to when I was growing up that made me think that I could maybe one day do something. And that's the only reason that I kept singing or kept doing stuff was because I had in my head that I could do it too. So it's kind of cool that I get to be that for someone else. And one day, someone else could be sitting in my spot telling them, yeah, Alyssa Wray, she was my inspiration. That's just really cool to me.
So what is going on at the showroom tonight, May 14th?
Well, we're going to be having a show 7 to 9. I'm going to be performing. I luckily get to have a live band. It's the band from my church that I played on the worship team with. They're awesome.
Is that from Centerpoint?
Yes. And then I'm going to have some performances in kind of at the beginning and in the intermission of Opening Act, run by Emma Steeberl. It's this children's theater, and they're going to perform from their upcoming show. So I think that's going to be kind of cute to give them the opportunity to kind of perform for a crowd, since a lot of people haven't gotten to perform in the last year. And then it's just going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have funnel cakes and snow cones, T-shirts, posters, and there's going to be a Q&A. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, it's going to be at the showroom, which is at the corner of the bypass and Lebanon Road.
Yes.
It's going to be outside, right?
Yes.
You've done a nice job on the weather.
Yes.
That worked out.
It looks good right now. So you never know, though.
And what's it cost?
Well, technically it's free. It's donations. If people would like to give donations, that's very much appreciated. Like I said, I'm trying to get my career started up, doing gigs and stuff, hopefully moving out to start. So if anyone is able to and willing, donations are appreciated. But I want everyone in the community to be able to come and feel like they're welcome, and to have the opportunity to just, have a good night with me.
So it's kind of like a live GoFundMe event.
A little bit, I would say. It's more of like the homecoming concert. I just got back. It's like hey guys, I'm back.
And not here for long either. You're
Hopefully not. Fingers crossed.
Well, you're taking off.
2 days later. Well, yeah, 2 days later. So I might even stay out there a little longer if I can, if we don't have anything I have to get back to, because I want to stay there.
So you probably can't sign any deals while you're still affiliated with the show.
Yeah, we do have some things that we have to watch out with our contracts, and I have to give the people some time from the show to sign me. But after, if they decide they don't want to sign me, other labels can reach out to me, other people can reach out to me. So hopefully they want to sign me, but if not, I'm hoping some other opportunities will come throughout this summer.
Maybe of the millions of people that saw you on TV during your performances, somebody will.
Let's hope one of them sees something in me.
All you need is one.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about that.
Well, thank you.
All right, so tonight, May 14th at the showroom.
7 to 9.
7 to 9. The weather's going to be perfect. There's going to be funnel cakes and everything else, so that's awesome. Can I put you on the spot and get you to sing something?
Okay, it's not going to be like nothing special. Is that okay?
It's going to be something special.
Okay. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
I got chill bumps sitting
I
here.
just sound kind of, I need to get some allergy medicine so I can get better before tomorrow.
All right, anything else you want to cover?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting me, my teachers from K through 12, my church family from every single church, my mom, my nanny, my family, my stepdad, my siblings, and just everyone who's been supporting me and have always been there to, lift me up. I'm so thankful, and I couldn't be here without y'all.
Well, I thank you for being with me. Tabitha, thank you for working with me to get Alyssa in here. I know there's so many demands on your time, and this has just been awesome to sit and talk with you. You're more delightful in person than you are on TV.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
I'm a good judge of character, trust me. All right. Alyssa Wray, thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you so much for having us.
But wait, there's more. You know what it's time for. What's up, Danville? Danville. What's up, Danville is the news you can use here in our fair community. So, what's going on in your neighborhood? Alyssa Wray tonight in concert at the showroom, 7 to 9, the corner of Lebanon Road and the Bypass. It's a free concert. Donations are welcome, so go check her out. If you're listening to this on Saturday morning, get down to the Farmers Market at Constitution Square. Go see my friend Jeff and all the vendors who are set up at the Farmers Market. Visit some downtown shops while you're there. Have lunch downtown. Make a day of it. Also want to give a congratulations to the Boyle County Swim and Dive team, the boys and girls combined team. They each won, and then the combined team won the region. So congrats to Crystal and Jeremy Ellis, the coaches there. They did a wonderful job. Had a wonderful season under some really adverse conditions. They did a great job. If you have an item that would fall into a category for What's Up Danville, either a not-for-profit organization that's got an event coming up, a sporting-related activity, or something in the field of arts and culture, let me know. I'll be happy to give you a shout out here on the podcast and get the word out about your event or whatever you have going on. Send me a message at ManAboutDanville@gmail.com. I'd like to thank my guest, Alyssa Wray, and her mom, Tabitha Blackwell, for joining me. Wow, she is on her way to something special. She is a delightful person, lovely in every aspect of the word, and a real rare talent. And it's so cool that she's from right here, just down the road in Perryville. We wish her nothing but the best as she moves forward in her career. Stay in touch with us. I can't wait to see where she winds up. If you want to find Alyssa Wray on social media, on Instagram, her handle is It's Alyssa Wray. That's ITSALYSSAWRAY. So that's her name with It's in front of it. It's Alyssa Wray on Instagram. On Twitter, it's the same thing. It's Alyssa Wray. ITSALYSSAWRAY. It's Alyssa Wray on Twitter and Instagram. Check her out. If you want to get in touch with me to talk about the show or real estate or anything else, send me an email, ManAboutDanville@gmail.com. Hit me up, ManAboutDanville@gmail.com. You can find me on my website, ManAboutDanville. I'm on the Insta, ManAboutDanville. The Twitter handle is @ManDanville, and the Facebook page, Man About Danville. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, wherever else you can find them. You can even say, hey, Alexa, play the podcast Man About Danville. Also, of course, I've got a YouTube channel that you can find. If you have a moment, hit subscribe or give me a rating or review wherever you listen. That's all I've got for this week. Thanks for listening. Until next time, shop local, eat local, Be well, have a good weekend, and thanks for listening.
That's it. We're out. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to Man About Danville wherever you access your favorite podcasts, and be sure to tell your friends about us. You've been listening to Man About Danville with Logan H. Gurman, brought to you by the Logan Company, a commercial and residential real estate brokerage for Danville and Central Kentucky. Know someone who would be a good guest? Want to be a guest yourself? Have an idea for the show? Get in touch with us. Find all our contact information on the web at manaboutdanville.com. Thanks for joining us.